So with 2024 officially coming to an end, it has caused me to reflect a lot upon Ninjago as a whole for this year. And the thing is, it's been a really good year for Ninjago. Honestly, if you want a full year review of Ninjago, please let me know, because I will do that before this year ends off. But for this video, I did want to talk about the better aspects of this year for the show. And what a better place to do it than talk about the actual Lego bricks that we got for the year, and just discuss what the best part of it actually was. And I'm gonna be honest, this was actually really difficult, because this year has done really well in terms of the sets and the minifigures, and those are the two topics we're gonna talk about today. Yes, you heard that right, I'm going to do a top 5 and a special mention for both of the Ninjago minifigures and the Ninjago sets that we got this year, and tell you why I think these were the best of what we got. And if you do agree with me, please let me know, and if not, I would love to see your top 5 list as well. But before we get into anything else, let me tell you a quick criteria for both of them. As for the minifigures, my main criteria was how good the print was, how good the minifigure itself looks, the accuracy to the show. There's no mention of exclusivity here, and that also applies to the sets as well, because I don't want to base it purely off of what was exclusive about the sets, because that's not really good. It comes down to just how good it actually looked in terms of its accuracy and just in terms of its build quality overall, so that was the main thing I judged on. And a little extra things for the set as well, I didn't want to take into account the brick pieces, or more specifically the brick count, but unfortunately, bigger sets tend to just make for better sets as well. So while I've tried to be fair for the most part, and you'll see I've been fairly fair, but there are obviously a lot of bigger sets in terms of the top sets of the year. But just know that near enough all of the smaller sets had their merits to them, and I could have made an argument for basically any of them. And well, spoiler ahead, basically any of the elemental mechs could have been on this list, but unfortunately none of them did make it, but just know that they are fantastic. But yeah, let's actually get into the top minifigures in my opinion for the year. And for number 5, we're going to be talking about Tournament Sora. And yeah, she is, in my opinion, the 5th best minifigure that we got for the year. I think the print itself is fantastic. She kept all the parts of her that made her Sora. The fantastic arm printing, her body and her legs are absolutely fantastic. The sleeveless edition is also amazing. And honestly, the lack of armor I think kind of completes the look. And that new hairpiece we got this year, it is so good. So I'm so glad. I genuinely think this takes all the best aspects of Sora and really does ramp it up, and like I said, it just makes for a fantastic minifigure, and to be honest, better than every single one we've gotten of her so far. And just generally speaking, and again, spoiler ahead, she is the best of the tournament outfit ninja, and to be honest, it's really crazy to see, because while she is my favorite, spoiler ahead, again, a lot of spoilers this episode, but she is my favorite, and in comparison, Aaron is actually my least favorite of the tournament ninja. So honestly, it's really impressive that I like this minifigure as much as I do, to the point where she's top 5. But like I said, what an amazing looking minifigure. So again, that's why she's number 5. But number 4, this spot actually will be going to Tox. And like I said, again, just in a fantastic looking minifigure overall. Unfortunately, you will realize that basically all of the minifigures on this list are from the tournament wave of sets. But that is mostly just down to the fact that, simply put, we just got some fantastic minifigures this wave. And well, there is a special mention that isn't from the wave I'm talking about, but still, just a majority from this wave, but I think it comes with valid reason. But yeah, like I said, Tox is taking the number 4 spot. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any arm printing, which is a shame, but the hair is amazing, the face print's amazing, the torso, the legs as well, absolutely fantastic. And again, she comes in a set that just has a lot of fantastic minifigures, and you'll figure out quite quickly that this set does just have a lot of great minifigures in general. Spoiler ahead, another one is in this list. But I will say that this is, like I said, just a stellar looking minifigure and just looks fantastic next to the rest of the Elemental Masters. And I'm going to be honest, widely outdoes her original minifigure, I have to say. Ultra Agents be damned, Ninjago does it best. But straight into number 3 is actually going to go to one of the main ninja, and that is actually going to be the Mech Cole from the mech set that we just got. And I know that set is very controversial. I will say it does come up in a bit, again, spoilers, but it is a fantastic looking Cole minifigure, and one that just has a very unique feel to it, and one that does just stand out in the Cole collection. It is just such a departure from what we're used to in terms of ninja minifigures, and I think I have no other reason but to compliment it because of it. Because while it does use the mech hood, it uses basically completely exclusive pieces apart from that. Well, of course, apart from the head. But the thing is that it is just a fantastic looking minifigure, and it's just one that really, again, just stands out. I don't know how else to really put it, but it's just a really cool minifigure that comes in a really cool set. And again, it will come up later, but let me know if you do want to see a review of this set, because I love this set so much. But yeah, that is the number 3 spot, and taking the number 2 is actually going to be a villain, and that's going to be the Tournament Raz, and I'm going to be honest, it's for obvious reasons. I mean, look at him. I mean, Raz minifigures in general are just fantastic. There's not a bad Raz minifigure, but this one just takes the detailing up to the extreme. And I will say, I'm a fan of red, so that is an aspect I have to consider. But the arm printing is amazing. The legs, the torso, all of it. The red on his head print is just fantastic looking. I'm going to be honest, there's a reason he's in the 2025 sets. This is just a fantastic looking minifigure. And again, possibly one of my favorites that have come out of Dragon's Rising in general, but I could go on about this figure for ages. Genuinely, if you don't own this minifigure, get it. It's so good. It might be one of Ninjago's best. But like I said, that is the number 2 pick. And before I get to number 1, I do want to give a special mention, like I said, and that is actually going to be the Master Lloyd. Because while I don't like it enough, I do think it's still unique enough for me to mention it, because it's a minifigure we've wanted for a long time, and when it was revealed, everyone was so excited for this minifigure. And I will say, I've had this minifigure since it came out, and I love the minifigure, but there's something about it, I don't know, it's honestly deserving of its own video, to be honest with you, but it's just something about it I don't like. I don't know what it is, but it is just one of those minifigures that I can adore, but also kind of judge at the same time. So that's why it's going to get the special mention instead of an actual spot. But I thought I'd mention it regardless. But let's actually get to number 1. And in case you haven't figured it out by now, my number 1 pick, of course, is going to be the Evil J. Because what else is there to say about it? It is such a unique minifigure, a good looking minifigure. It does absolutely everything I want from it. The torso, fantastic. The legs, amazing. The darker version of the shoulder pad is great. Utilizing the mech hood for a different reason as well. And even the eyepiece, it's just such a good minifigure. And it's just one that I think anyone needs in their Ninjago collection. I think it's one of the best that we've ever seen, and that is why it is the number 1. But that was my look at the best minifigures of 2024. But let's actually get into the actual sets now, and before anything, and before the special mention or the 5, I will say there is one set that didn't make it onto this list, and I know for a fact this is going to come up in the comment section, and that is the Tournament Temple City set is not on my list, and there is one very specific reason. And I will say, I purely just think, even though it's a cool set, it has a lot of exclusive minifigures and it's got a lot of cool stuff about it, it's just not for me. And this is someone who loves the big Ninjago sets. I absolutely adore them. The thing is, I just can't really justify this set. It's like twice the price of the rest of the wave. It's such a unique set, but I just simply can't justify it. I don't think I liked it enough. For that kind of price, I'm gonna finally track down the Temple of Jitsu. Let's be perfectly honest. So yeah, that one is not on there, but let's get into number 5. And I'm actually finally gonna mention something that's not from the Tournament of Elements, or the Tournament of the Sources, sorry, oops. But I will say that number 5 is actually the Egalt the Master Dragon set. And I've gotta say, what an amazing set. For 60 British pounds, you got an amazing looking dragon, a Lloyd and a Nia that were exclusive at the time, and some amazing villains as well. Honestly, this set did so much, and I'm surprised it didn't get more love than it actually got, because it does everything right and does not much wrong at the same time. Genuinely, this is such a good set, and if you don't own it, I wholeheartedly recommend it. Because like I said, it does just do absolutely everything right. The build quality is amazing. Like I said, the minifigures are also amazing, because while you do have those, the exclusive at the times, it had a Cinder, it had a Raz, and it had a Sora. So honestly, it did just have everything going for it. And like I said, just looked fantastic next to the rest of the dragons. And honestly, anyone who remembers that Egot was theorized to be Wu, you're a real one. But I never saw it personally. But yeah, that is my number 5 spot. And number 4 is going to be, like I said, the Coal Titan Dragon Mech. And I've got to say, I know people have their complaints about this set, and I understand the complaints. I do think the fact there was one minifigure is kind of criminal for how much it is, but it is still such a good looking mech. It's got tall, it's posable, it is everything you want. And with the Coal minifigure as well. It's just a fantastic set, and again, one I would love to review on the channel. But if you haven't got it, I would really say pick it up. I know a lot of people are probably going to think it's no longer the best mech because of, well, what we're getting next year, but it is such an amazing looking mech and it really does stand out in the collection. So again, I adore this one. I understand the complaints, but I adore it. And if you don't own it, please get it. But that is the number 4 pick. And number 3 is actually going to go to a smaller set, and that is actually the Young Dragon Ryu set. And for £12, you got a lot. You got the brick built Ryu, which is an amazing looking build, by the way. What an amazing addition to any Ninjago collection. It then had an Aaron, which is just the standard Dragon's Rising Season 1 minifigure, but still just a nice way to get him if you didn't have him. And it had the Sora as well, with the new hair print at the time. So it was a very cheap way to get a hold of that new mold, and for that it was worth it on its own. And then it just had a Wolf Mask Warrior, but it was still a nice way to get an additional soldier. But for £12, you really could not go wrong with this set, and you could even get it cheaper now. I've seen it for less than £10 now. So honestly, if you haven't gotten this set, you need to get it, because it's a no-brainer in my opinion, and it's definitely one of the best that we got from the year. So yeah, pick this one up if you don't have it. But that does then officially bring us to the number 2, which is actually going to be the Wolf Mask Shadow Dojo set. And honestly, again, what a fantastic looking build. Now, if you're anything like me and you prefer the actual buildings, the actual staples, locations of the show over the vehicles, this is the set for you. Honestly, this reminds me of the Tiger Widow Island set from Season 6, which I also loved, but it just is that on a bigger scale. The build is so detailed and so fantastic looking, all the details are just perfect, and the minifigure selection was so good as well. You literally got Raz, Cinder, Jordana, and then you got 4 of the 6 ninja as well. That is incredible. For what you were getting, this was so good for what it was worth. And again, in the climber suits as well, some of the more favorite suits from recent time, this set honestly was kind of a no-brainer at the time, and is one that I think anyone who got really did appreciate, because it did everything it needed to do, but good. There's no other way to put it. What an amazing set. And again, if you haven't got it, pick it up 100%, because this one does everything it needs perfectly. So yeah, that's the number 2. And then for the special mention, I do want to mention Jay's Mech Battle Pack, because Ninjago officially had a battle pack, which was fantastic. And it had the Master Lloyd, it had the Jay mech suit as well, and like I said, those 2 Wolf Mask Warriors, you could build the Wolf Mask army up so easily with this set, it was unbelievable. And again, just so worth it. It was about £8, and it's less now. So it's just the perfect way to build up that army if you wanted. But the thing is, it's not for everyone. So that's why it was the special mention. But let's actually do the number 1. And I feel like you would have been able to guess this fairly easily, but the number 1 pick is of course going to be the Source Dragon of Motion. I mean, it is the biggest set, or the biggest dragon that we've ever gotten, but the build is fantastic. The top of it's amazing, the minifigure selection is again amazing, it has absolutely everything you want in a Ninjago set. And again, just fantastic. I mean, look at it. Like I said, the build quality is amazing. It is literally the biggest dragon we've ever gotten in a Ninjago set, and it really does show it. Over 1,000 pieces is incredible. And like I said then, the minifigures as well. The Jordana, which is lovely. The Raz, which you know my opinion on. The Aaron, which is still a nice one. Wildfire, Kai, and Wolf Mask Warriors. So it does just have absolutely everything going for it. And again, you can now find it at discount as well. So again, just one amazing set. I think it really was the highlight of the year. So yeah, definitely the #1 pick. But that was my top 5 look at both the minifigures and the sets for Ninjago in 2024. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you agree with me or not. And also, if you want to see a year review, if you want to know my least favorite picks from the year as well. Honestly, I don't know what the least favorites would be, just for reference, but if you do want to see that video, let me know. But that is about it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Take care. Okay, bye!